What if I told you that the most profitable livestock on your property isn't the animal that takes the most space, the most feed, or the most time? It's a bird you can raise in your backyard for under $50, that reproduces on a predictable cycle, and that millions of Americans are desperately trying to buy locally right now. While most homesteaders are out here spinning their wheels on complicated livestock setups, a small group of sharp-focused farmers have quietly built real income streams around one animal that's been under everyone's nose the entire time. Today I'm breaking down the 10 most profitable chicken breeds every homesteader needs to know about, ranked by their real-world income potential. And number 1 has helped ordinary families replace full-time salaries. Stay with me. This list gets serious fast. At number 10, we're starting with the Cornish cross, the bird that literally built the commercial poultry industry, and smart homesteaders are using it to generate fast, repeatable cash in as little as 8 weeks. Most people think of Cornish cross as a factory farm bird, and that's exactly why the opportunity exists. A Cornish cross chick costs about $2 to $3. Feed it for 6 to 8 weeks on roughly 12 pounds of feed, totaling around $4 in feed costs, and you've got a 5 to 7 pound dressed bird ready to sell. Pasture-raised Cornish cross sells for $5 to $8 per pound at farmers markets, meaning a single bird grosses $25 to $50. Run 2 or 3 batches per year with just 50 birds, and you're looking at gross revenues between $2,500 and $7,500 with minimal infrastructure. Here's what most beginners miss. The real margin isn't in the bird itself, it's in the story. Customers in suburban areas are paying premium prices specifically because they trust the farmer, not the grocery store. A homesteader in Tennessee reported clearing $4,000 in a single farmer's market season with fewer than 100 birds total. The Cornish cross isn't glamorous, but fast turnaround, low startup cost, and hungry local markets make it a legitimate first move for anyone building a poultry income from scratch. Now here's where it gets interesting. At number 9, meet the Delaware chicken, a forgotten American breed developed in the 1940s that's making a powerful comeback, and the people getting in early are seeing it pay off. Delawares are a dual-purpose bird, meaning they produce both quality eggs and quality meat, which immediately opens 2 revenue streams from a single flock. A Delaware hen lays approximately 200 to 280 eggs per year. Hatching eggs from quality Delaware stock sell for $2 to $4 each, and chicks fetch $8 to $15 apiece because breeders are actively trying to rebuild the population. The American Livestock Breeds Conservancy lists the Delaware as a recovering heritage breed, and that conservation status alone drives collector and breeder demand. One small-scale breeder in Virginia turned a flock of 30 Delawares into a $1,200 per month hatching egg operation within 18 months. The secret? She listed on 3 different poultry sale platforms simultaneously and never had more inventory than demand. When a breed has history, conservation backing, and genuine scarcity, the market comes to you. At number 8, we have the Black Australorp, the world record egg layer that most homesteaders overlook because they don't realize what those eggs are actually worth. A Black Australorp hen holds the world record for egg production. 364 eggs in 365 days. The average Black Australorp lays between 250 and 300 eggs per year under good management. Farm-fresh eggs in most U.S. markets sell for $4 to $7 per dozen at roadside stands and $8 to $12 per dozen when marketed as heritage or pasture-raised. A flock of 25 Australorp hens producing 270 eggs per year generates over 500 dozen annually. At $6 average per dozen, that's $3,000 per year from 25 hens. Add hatching eggs at $3 each and quality chicks at $10 to $12, and you've layered 2 more income streams onto an already productive bird. According to agricultural extension data, Australorps consistently rank in the top 5 most efficient feed-to-egg conversion breeds available to small flock owners. The math is almost boring in how reliable it is. But the opportunity doesn't stop there. At number 7, we have the Ayam Cemani, the all-black chicken from Indonesia, where even the bones, organs, and meat are jet black, and it sells for prices that will completely reframe how you think about poultry. A quality Ayam Samani breeding pair sells for $2,500 in the United States. Fertilized hatching eggs sell for $50 to $120 per dozen. Day-old chicks fetch $75 to $200 each. This isn't a meat bird. This isn't an egg bird. This is a collector's bird, a prestige bird, a bird that sells because of what it looks like and what it represents. A breeder in Florida documented grossing over $18,000 in a single calendar year from a flock of fewer than 40 birds. Zero farmers market tables, zero physical storefronts, just a social media presence, a quality breeding program, and a waiting list. Here's what dealers won't tell you. The barrier to entry is the price of the foundation flock. But once you have proven genetics and a reputation, you're not selling chickens anymore. You're selling access. Moving from exotic breeds to working breeds, number 6 is the Freedom Ranger, a pasture-adapted meat bird that cuts your feed bill by up to 40% compared to conventional broilers and commands premium prices every time. Freedom Rangers are slower growing than Cornish Cross, reaching market weight in 9 to 11 weeks instead of 6 to 8. But that slower growth is actually the selling point. The meat has better texture, better flavor, and a completely different fat profile, and chefs, restaurants, and health-conscious consumers will pay for it. A dressed Freedom Ranger sells for $6 to $10 per pound at direct-to-consumer markets. On quality pasture, these birds forage aggressively, reducing feed costs significantly. A homesteader in Missouri calculated his total cost per bird at $7.50 with pasture integration, while selling each dressed bird for $42 on average. That's a 460% return per bird. If you have grass, you have a cost advantage that factory operations simply cannot replicate. You might think that's impressive, but number 5 is doing something most people haven't even considered yet. The Easter Egger hybrid lays blue, green, olive, and pink eggs, and those colors are turning into serious money at farmers markets across the country. Easter Egger hens lay approximately 200 to 260 eggs per year. But here's the thing nobody talks about. A dozen mixed-color eggs sells for $8 to $15, while a dozen standard brown eggs from the same market sells for $4 to $6. Same product, different packaging, courtesy of genetics. That color premium represents a 40 to 150% price increase for zero additional labor. Beyond the eggs, Easter Egger chicks with documented color-producing genetics sell for $5 to $15 each to backyard flock owners who want colorful egg baskets. A homesteader in Colorado reported her mixed flock egg business generating $6,500 annually from 30 hens, purely because she merchandised the color story correctly on social media before the customers ever reached the market table. As we climb toward number 1, the stakes get higher. At number 4, the Buckeye, America's only breed developed entirely by a woman, Nettie Metcalf of Ohio in the 1890s, is a cold, hardy, dual-purpose bird that keeps producing income through winter when other breeds slow down to almost nothing. Buckeye hens maintain laying rates in cold weather significantly better than Mediterranean breeds. In climates where most flocks drop to 30 to 50% production in January and February, a well-managed Buckeye flock holds closer to 60 to 70%. During those winter months when farm-fresh eggs are scarce, prices spike. In northern states, winter farm-fresh eggs can command $10 to $14 per dozen. That winter premium alone can represent 30% of annual egg revenue compressed into 3 months. The American Livestock Breeds Conservancy also lists Buckeyes as a watch breed, which drives breeding stock demand. Quality Buckeye pairs sell for $40 to $80, and chicks move for $8 to $15 each. Year-round productivity plus heritage breed premiums plus seasonal scarcity equals a bird that earns money in every quarter. Now let's talk about something that stops people in their tracks. At number 3, the silky chicken. It looks like a stuffed animal. It acts more like a lapdog than a farm bird, and it sells for numbers that make experienced farmers do a complete double take. Silkies don't lay many eggs, roughly 100 to 120 per year. They're not a meat bird. By every conventional poultry metric, they should be at the bottom of this list. But here's the reality. Silkies are the #1 selling backyard chicken breed in the United States by search volume. and a quality silkie sells for $25 to $80 per bird depending on color and quality. Bearded, vaulted skull, show-quality silkies from Champion lines have sold for $200 to $500 per bird at poultry shows. A breeder in Georgia built a wait list of over 200 customers for her spring silky hatch at $40 per chick. That's $8,000 before a single bird left the brooder. The lesson here is simple and worth writing down. The most profitable bird isn't always the most productive bird. It's the most wanted bird. And that philosophy leads directly to number 2. The Kadaknath, K-A-H-Daknath, an ancient Indian heritage breed with completely black meat, black skin, and black bones, is fetching $20 to $50 per pound in specialty markets, Indian grocery networks, and high-end restaurants across the United States right now. This bird has been consumed in India for centuries and is considered a delicacy with documented demand in immigrant communities across major American cities. A live Kadaknath sells for $75 to $200. A dressed bird sells for $150 to $400 depending on market and weight. According to poultry specialty market reports, domestic Kadaknath supply in the U.S. is almost non-existent, meaning anyone who establishes a clean, documented breeding program right now is entering a market with almost no domestic competition. A small producer in Texas began selling to Indian restaurants in Houston in 2022 and reportedly cleared over $22,000 in his first full year of operation with a flock of fewer than 60 birds. That is not a chicken business. That is a specialty protein business wearing a chicken's feathers. And at number 1, the strategy that ties everything together. It's not one single breed. It's the pasture-raised, direct-to-consumer broiler model built around a Ranger Cross or Heritage broiler breed, marketed directly to local families through subscription and pre-order systems. Here's why this tops the list. A family raising 200 birds per batch, running 4 batches annually on 2 to 3 acres of rotated pasture at an average dressed weight of 5 pounds and a direct sale price of $7 per pound, grosses $28,000 per year from 800 birds. Add hatching egg sales, breeding stock sales, offal sales to pet food customers, and a farm store presence, and documented operations are clearing $40,000 to $80,000 annually. A family in Vermont transitioned from a dual-income household to a single-income farm operation in under 3 years using exactly this model. No exotic breeds required, no specialty markets needed, just quality birds, honest marketing, and a community that wants to know where their food comes from. According to USDA small farm data, direct-to-consumer poultry operations have grown by over 60% in the last decade. The demand is already there. The question is whether you'll be the one supplying it. So there you have it, 10 proven breeds and strategies that show exactly how chickens can become a legitimate income engine on almost any property size. Every single bird on this list has made real people real money, and the entry point for most of them is lower than a monthly car payment. If this opened your eyes to opportunities you didn't realize were sitting right in your backyard, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive. And before you go, check out the next video on your screen where I break down the 5 most expensive mistakes new chicken farmers make in their first year. Mistakes that quietly cost people thousands before they even realize what went wrong. You don't want to learn those lessons the hard way. Smart farming isn't about working harder. It's about knowing what others don't.